and this is the second in a series of yoga in a chair videos for Game Ready Fitness. Today you are going to need several pieces of equipment to help you have a productive, healthy, and fun practice. First, you will need comfortable clothing, just something that lets you move freely. Second, you'll need a chair, something with no arms is best. Third, you're going to need a pillow or a yoga block. Either one will work. If you happen to have yoga blocks already, they're wonderful. If you don't have them, a pillow will absolutely do the job. You are also going to need a blanket today. Your blanket should be folded up in a neat rectangle so that it can support you and give you a little bit of height when we come down to our seated postures on the floor. Finally, you are going to need a strap. Again, if you happen to have a yoga strap, they're great, but there's nothing magical about them. You can use a belt like you would use for your pants, and it will do the exact same job, or any other long strap of fabric will be great. One more piece of equipment, a small hand towel, just like in our previous video, can be helpful for people who have any tenderness in their knees. So if this is your first time working through this video, I recommend having all of the props available, and then if you find that you don't need some of them, next time around you'll know. When you have all of your equipment ready, come onto your seat and find an upright seat in your chair. If you practiced the first video of yoga in a chair, you'll be very familiar with this home position. If you're joining us for the first time, pull your hips forward on your chair so that you're sitting upright, using the muscles of your core to support your body and not leaning back on the back of your chair. Look down at your feet and notice that the outside edges of your feet should be parallel to one another. This should also bring your knees and your thigh bones into a parallel alignment. So sitting here, there's a lot of engagement going on. It's a much more difficult posture than just sitting in a relaxed way in a chair. Instead, you're really holding yourself upright and keeping your legs gently toned and engaged. Hands find a comfortable place in your lap. That might be resting on top of your thighs, or it might be folded in a basket in your lap. Either one is great. Settling into your seat, see if you can get your weight to be equally distributed between your two sitting bones, or the bones under your seat. This may involve pulling some flesh aside, that's just great, and shifting a little bit so that you can feel yourself settle down into your seat. Good. Further settling into your seat. With a big inhale, lift your shoulders up towards your ears and shrug your shoulder blades down the back of your body. Lift your shoulders up once more with an inhale. And shrug your shoulder blades down with an exhale. Very nice. This can create a little bit more openness across the collarbones, a little bit more opportunity for lift at the top of the chest. Now begin to notice your breath. Pay attention to where your breath is already moving. It's easy when we're busy, when we're moving around, or when we're just not paying attention, for the breath to be limited to the very top of the chest. So for just a moment now, try to allow your breath to take up a little bit more space. Notice if you can let your bottom ribs move with the movement of breath. Maybe even your belly, sides of waistline can move with the movement of breath as well. If you've moved your hands away from your lap, bring them back to your lap now. Make sure that your toes are still pointing straight forward, outside edges of your feet parallel with one another, and thigh bones parallel with one another as well. Throughout our practice, we will be working to coordinate the movement of breath with the movement of the body. And so we'll begin that now by releasing hands from our laps so that our fingertips can reach down towards the floor. Then turn your palms to face away from your body, and inhale, sweep your arms up overhead and look up. Arms might come all the way up so that palms touch, or they might come to a lower place, either is fine. Now turn your palms back towards the floor and exhale, squeeze your hands down through imagined resistance all the way down to the sides of your body. Turn your palms away once again. Inhale, squeeze your arms upward. If they come to shoulder height and stop, that's just fine. Lift your gaze, lift your chest, and then turn your palms to face down and squeeze your hands back down to your sides. Chin drops with your hands. One more time, turn your palms away. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Lift through the top of your chest, lift through your gaze, arms reaching as high as is comfortable in your body. Turn your palms down and exhale, squeeze your arms down. No collapse, keep control of your arms all the way down. Very good. Bring your hands back to your lap and find your breath once again. Big inhale through your nose and exhale. Inhale through your nose and exhale. Inhale through your nose and exhale. Release your right hand from your lap. Bring your hand down to your side and once again, turn your palm to face away from your body. Left hand stays comfortably in your lap. With an inhale, lift that right arm up overhead. And then keeping your chin parallel with the floor, turn your head to the right so that you're looking into the bicep of your right arm. Good. Then lift with an inhale to reach your arm up as high as it will go. And exhale, arch over to the side, keeping your nose pointing towards your bicep as much as you can, seeking to find length, stretch, and opening through the right side of your body. A little bit of compression on the left side is just fine. And notice how breath and body can be connected here. Inhale gets a little longer through the fingertips. Exhale a little bit deeper into the stretch. Next inhale, get long. And exhale, press your hand back down to your side. Very good. Hand returns to your lap. And we'll take the same side body stretch on the other side. Release your left hand from your lap. Turn your palm to face away from your body. With an inhale, reach your arm up overhead. And then turn your head gently so that you're looking into the left bicep. Big inhale to get as tall as you can, and exhale to reach that arm up and over. The physical movement doesn't have to be very big here to find nice opening, extension, expression through the right side of the body, a nice deepening compression through the right side of the body, and again, the breath connected with the movement of the body, even as we hold in this posture. So that inhale lets you grow longer, reach your fingertips further away from your hip. The exhale lets you get a little bit deeper into that side bend. Big inhale, reach long. And exhale, squeeze your arm back down to your side, head comes back to center, and hands return to your lap. Check and make sure that your feet are still parallel, thighs still parallel. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Moving now into a seated twist. Your right hand will come back behind you, maybe to the back of your chair or to the side of your chair, depending on how your chair is built. Left hand crosses across the front of your body to the outside of your right knee. Make a real commitment here to keep your thigh bones parallel with one another. It's easy for your knees to squish together or for your feet to come out of their alignment as you come into the twist. Use an inhale to get as tall through the top of your chest as you can. And then exhale, wrap that right shoulder back in space. Chin reaches back over your right shoulder. Stay long through the sides of your waistline and use your hands to give you gentle support in this twist. So your left hand on the outside of your knee can give a little bit of gentle traction. The right hand where it's resting on your chair can help you reach that right shoulder back, and then chin makes a little additional effort to reach back over that right shoulder. Big breath in to get tall. Big breath out, deepen the twist. Inhale, turn your head back to center. And exhale, release your spine from the twist. Come back to center. Very nice. Same twist going the other direction. Left hand comes back behind you to your chair, someplace where you have good support. Knees stay in their parallel alignment. Right hand crosses your body to the outside of your knee. Big inhale, get tall, lift through your chest, lift through the crown of your head. Exhale, move into the twist. Left shoulder, left collarbone, wrapping back in space. The chin reaching back over your left shoulder. Right hand squeezing gently into the outside of your knee to give you another little point of traction, a little point of connection. Stay long and lifted through your torso and reach back with the chin reaching over the top of your left shoulder. Big inhale, get tall and long. Exhale, deepen into the twist. Inhale, turn your gaze to center, just your head moving. Exhale, release your spine from the twist. And come back to our home position. Make sure your feet are still parallel, thigh bones still parallel. Take 2 deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. For our next series of postures, we'll be standing and using the support of our chairs. At home, you probably don't need to move your chair. Richard and I will move our chairs so that we can demonstrate the postures without turning our backs on the camera. So come to standing and position your chair so that you can safely and comfortably touch and reach the back of your chair. You'll want to back your feet away from the chair a few inches, maybe like 1.5 feet away from the back of the chair, so that you can find some support from the chair but still have some freedom to be able to move around the chair. You want to be able to fold forward here and still have your hands on the back of the chair. Good. So come up to an upright stance, feet parallel with one another and about hip width apart. Drop your tailbone down towards the floor. Lift your navel in towards your spine so you feel a gentle toning lift through the sides of the waistline, a nice lift through the top of your chest. Good. From here, inhale, lift your arms up overhead, look up to your thumbs, and exhale, reach forward for the back of your chair and fold forward. Inhale, keep the hands on the back of the chair, straighten your arms. Reach your chest and your face forward to allow your spine a small back bending motion. Good. Exhaling, step your feet back so that your hips reach back away from the chair and find a long stretch through your spine. Richard is demonstrating a nice long posture here so that his arms are almost parallel with his spine. His ears are coming down and approaching the space between his biceps. That's a lovely posture if you have the flexibility to get there. It's also fine to have straight legs, flat back, straight arms, and the head lifted, more like I'm demonstrating. To exit safely from this posture, soften your knees, bend them a little bit. Walk your feet in closer to the back of your chair, back to our starting position. Press into your feet and use an inhale to lift up, arms reach up overhead, palms touch if possible, look to your thumbs, and exhale, bring your hands back down to the back of your chair. Good. This is called a sun salutation, a bit modified to use the support of a chair. We'll take this flow 2 more times. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up to your thumbs. Exhale, bring your hands to the back of your chair, hinge at the hips to fold forward. Long, flat back, nice, strong legs. Press into your hands with an inhale to straighten your elbows. Reach your chest and your face forward, a small back bend through your spine. Exhale, step your feet back, reach your hips back, strong, long arms, strong, stretching spine, strong legs and feet strongly connected to the floor. Keep your toes active on the floor, squeeze them down into the floor. Feel the sensation of your legs strong and engaged, spine lengthening, stretching, hips reaching as far back away from your chair as is comfortable in your body. Good. Exhaling, bend your knees a little bit so that you can soften the knees, walk your feet back into our starting position a little bit closer to the chair, and use an inhale to lift your arms up over your head, look up to your thumbs, and press your hands back down to the back of your chair. Very good. One more time. Inhale, lift your arms overhead, look to your thumbs. Exhale, hands come to the back of the chair and hinge forward, folding deeply. Inhale, straighten your arms, reach your chest and your face forward, back bending, forming your spine. Exhale, step your feet back, reach your hips back. Sinking your chest as close to the floor as is comfortable, safe, and appropriate in your body, so that maybe your arms and your spine come into a straight line form and your ears come down between your biceps, or maybe you have a bit of an angle between your arms and your spine. Everybody's reaching their chest towards the floor, whatever shape the body takes, whatever amount of flexibility and strength you have right now today. Exhaling, bend your knees, walk your feet back in close to your chair, And use an inhale to stand up, lifting your arms overhead. Exhale, bring your hands back down to the back of your chair. Very good. Once again, at home, you probably don't need to move your chairs. Richard and I will move our chairs to face back towards you. And we're coming back to a seated posture in the chair. Coming back to your seat, find your breath once again. Hands resting in your lap, thighs and feet parallel. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. For our next posture, if you have any tenderness in your knees, you may find the support of your hand towel to be helpful in that posture. Richard will demonstrate using the towel, I will demonstrate without. So, starting with your left leg firmly planted on the floor, right knee, you can support behind the knee with a towel if you have tenderness in your knee, or you can support behind your knee with your fingers. Lift your knee in towards your chest. Good. Inhale, sit up tall. Don't let the weight of your leg pull your spine forward or make your collarbones curl in. Instead, stay nice and tall, upright, shoulder blades gently released down the back of your body. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, squeeze your knee in towards your chest. Big inhale, get tall. Exhale, squeeze your knee in towards your chest. Continuing to support behind your knee with your towel, open that knee out to the side and take your right ankle to the top of your left knee. You may find that your knee is high here. That's just fine. Keep that right foot flexed and reach your knee out to the side and down as much as is comfortable and safe in your body. One hand to the outside of your knee, one hand to the sole of your flexed foot. Inhale, sit up tall and straight. If you are already feeling stretch in the outside of your right hip, you're exactly where you need to be. If you need more opening in the outside of that right hip, keep your spine very long, chest lifted and open, and exhale to hinge at the hips and fold forward a few degrees, or perhaps even a lot of degrees, every body finding its own comfortable, safe practice. Just a few degrees of rotation here can make a big difference in the sensation of opening at the outside of that hip. Find a place of interesting sensation, of stretch, of opening, but stop short of any sensation of pain. If you have folded forward, inhale to lift back up to an upright seat. Use your hands or your towel to support in lifting your ankle off of your knee and bringing your right foot back down to the floor. Repeating the posture on the other side, if you're using your towel, switch sides. Supporting behind your knee with fingertips or with your towel, use an inhale to lift your knee up towards your chest. Right foot stays firmly planted on the floor. Good. Keep your spine tall and upright. Don't let the weight of your leg pull your spine or your shoulders forward. Every inhale, get tall. Every exhale, squeeze your knee in towards your chest. Another big inhale, get tall. Exhale, squeeze your knee in towards your chest. Now opening your knee out to the side, rotate from the hip, bring your ankle to the top of your knee. One hand supporting the sole of your flexed foot, the other hand supporting it with a towel or just with your hand on the outside of the knee. Sit up tall and straight, lift through the top of your chest, inhale, and exhale to release. Knee gently squeezing down from wherever your starting point is so that there's a little bit of effort, a little bit of tone in that leg as you settle into your posture. If you're already feeling the stretch that you need at the outside of your left hip, stay right where you are. If you need more, inhale and get tall, and exhale, hinge at the hips a little bit, or maybe a lot, reaching your chest as if your chest could reach down towards that left calf muscle. Keep long through your spine, don't round or curl in. Keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine, not letting your head drop or craning your face forward, just a long, comfortable neck. And working into the sensation at the outside of that left hip. Next, inhale, lift to an upright seat if you've folded. Use your hand or your hand and your towel together to lift your leg up. Replace that left foot down on the floor. For our next posture, we will be coming back to standing. Just as before, Richard and I will move our chairs. Practicing at home, you probably don't need to move your chair. We are coming into triangle posture or Trikonasana posture. Position yourself so that your right fingertips can easily touch the back of your chair and your right toes point directly towards the back of your chair. Step your left foot back a little bit so you have maybe 2.5 feet between your heels. Left toes point almost straight forward and then angle in towards your midline a few degrees. Hips and shoulders also face as much in your forward direction as possible. Right hand comes to the back of the chair to support, so that this will be our posture or our place of stability. Release your right hand from the back of your chair and bring your right hand to the place where thigh bone comes into your hip joint. This is the place where we're trying to move. Common mistakes to be aware of and try to reduce in your practice at home. Sometimes we think that when we're coming sideways that we do that by a movement of the spine, the chest, and the head, so that the body, the torso is making a lot of movement. Instead, we want to try to keep the spine tall and upright and move from the hips, even if that means that the posture doesn't have such a big angle at the hips. We also want to try to keep chest and navel facing directly forward. It's easy to try to turn your tummy and your chest down towards the floor to feel like you've come into a deeper posture. It's a very different movement from what we're looking for. So instead, try to keep navel and chest facing directly forward, spine long and straight, and we're seeking sideways movement at the hips here. Good. To come into your practice of this posture, right fingertips come to the back of the chair. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, reach your hips off to the left, head to the right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hips reach left, hinge at the right hip, head reaches to the right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Inhale, come up. And exhale, hinge once again. Inhale, come back up to standing. Good. We'll move into this posture to hold now for 5 breaths, trying to keep in mind that we're moving from the hips, keeping the spine long and straight, and keeping navel and chest facing directly forward. Right fingertips to the back of your chair. Inhale, get really tall. And exhale, hinge sideways. Both knees strong and straight without locking. Navel and chest open directly forward. Strong, straight legs. Strong, straight spine. Right hand gently on the back of your chair. Left hand can rest on your hip. With your next exhale, look down at your toes. And inhale, come back up to standing. Richard and I will move our chairs to demonstrate the posture on the second side. Now positioning ourselves so that the left toes face towards the back of the chair, about 2.5 feet between your heels. Right toes face mostly in your forward orientation and then angle in a couple of degrees towards your midline. Left fingertips should be able to comfortably reach to the back of the chair to support your balance. Again, seeking to find movement in this hip joint and trying to keep the knees strong and straight, spine strong and straight. Hand comes to the back of the chair. Inhale, get tall through your spine. Exhale, reach your hips to the right, head to the left, fingertips supporting on the back of the chair. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hinge sideways. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hinge sideways. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hinge sideways. And inhale, lift to standing. Good. And now preparing to hold the posture for 5 breaths. Again, left fingertips gently resting on the back of the chair. Try not to lean too heavily into the back of the chair, but do use it to support your balance. Both knees strong and straight. Inhale, get tall. And exhale, reach your hips to the right, head to the left. Deep hinge at the left hip. Knees strong and straight. Navel pulling in towards the spine. Navel and heart both open in your forward direction. Right hand can rest on your hips. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Big inhale. Next exhale, look down at your toes. Inhale, lift up to standing. And come on back to your seat. Find the parallel alignment of your feet, parallel alignment of the thigh bones. Hands find their comfortable place in your lap. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. For our final few postures, we will be moving down to the floor. If you have a yoga mat, you're welcome to sit on your yoga mat. Any floor surface will be just great for these postures. You'll also need to have access to the props that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. A blanket will be helpful, blocks or pillows will be helpful, and a strap or belt will be helpful. So make your way down to the floor. You'll be coming down to a seated position. You might come down through hands and knees in order to get down safely and comfortably, using your chair for a support as much as you need to. Excellent. And if you have any tightness in your low back, your hamstrings, it's a really nice idea to sit up on the edge of your folded blanket. And at this point, work your knees as close to straight as is safe, comfortable, and appropriate in your body. In some bodies, the knees may come all the way straight. In some bodies, it may be important to keep a little bit of bend in the knees. That's just great. Then bring your hands back behind you so that you can find a nice lifted position through your spine, lifting through the low back, lifting through the chest. Good. If you need your hands to help you keep this lifted position in your spine, keep your hands here. If you have the strength and the flexibility at this time to be able to support your spine in that position without leaning back on your hands, hands can come to the sides of your hips and press down into the floor. This posture can be very simple in shape, but very challenging in the engagement that it requires through the front of the body, through the front of the legs. Very nice. From this posture, release by softening your knees and bending your knees. We're coming into a posture called bound angle posture. Richard will rotate so that you can see the shape of his posture. You don't need to rotate your body practicing at home. If you used a blanket under your hips in the first posture, it will be very helpful here as well. Bring the soles of your feet together. Good. And if your knees are very high up, this is where you will want to use a pillow or a block. A simple pillow can tuck under the knees and give you something to press down into. Or if you happen to have blocks, they can do the same job. A nice firm surface to press down into. Hands come back behind your hips to help you find the same lifted position as before, lifting through low back, lifting through the top of the chest. This is a great place to practice if you already feel lots of work and lots of opening. If you have the strength right now to hold your spine this tall, this upright, without the support of your hands behind you, you might bring your thumbs to the soles of your feet. Good. If you bring your thumbs to the soles of your feet, be very mindful of keeping your collarbones open, shoulder blades reaching down the back of your body, and reach tall through the crown of your head. Lift through the sides of the waistline, lift through the top of the chest, knees continually working their way down towards the floor or the mat if you have one. Now, one more inhale, get tall, and then with an exhale, release, setting aside your props. As you release from this posture, the blanket under the hips, if you've been using it, can now shift to become a pillow beneath your head as we make our way down onto our backs. And this is the posture for which a strap or belt can be very helpful. Lie down on your back with your knees bent so that the soles of your feet can rest on your floor or your mat. If this is a good position for you, could be a great place to stay if you've got any tension in your low back. If your low back feels comfortable, you may move your legs to a straight position so that they're extended down onto the floor or the mat. Good. Richard will continue to model with a bent knee just so that we can see what that looks like. Good. But if that straight leg position is comfortable in your body, you can start with legs straight. The strap is truly nothing more than a long piece of fabric. We're not using the buckle on the end of the strap at all. Take the strap and loop the strap around the ball of your right foot. Then hold both ends of the strap in your right hand, so same side as your foot, and begin to press your foot up towards the ceiling, reaching your knee towards straightness. The angle of your leg here will be very different from one body to the next. In some bodies, it may be a really strong stretch to have the heel down closer to the floor. In other bodies with more flexibility, the leg may come closer to upright. Good. And then keeping the grip with the right hand, press the ball of the foot away from your face. Very nice. Left hand comes to the front of the left hip or the top of the left thigh here. And keeping that left hip anchored, don't let it roll up off of the mat. Right arm stays strong. Take that right leg out to the side just as far as is comfortable for you. Looking again for opening in the right hip. You can stay right here, or if you would like to include your neck in this stretch, you can pick your head up and turn your head away from the lifted leg, looking over your left shoulder. Good. Long through the neck. Reaching the right foot down towards the floor, left hip stays nice and strong on the mat, grounded. Come back to center with your head and your leg, and release the strap from your right foot. Switch your strap to your left hand. Loop the strap around the ball of your left foot. Both ends of the strap in your left hand. Right hand to the front of your right hip, and a nice long stretch through that left leg. Press the ball of the foot away from your face. Good. Keep your right hand anchoring your right hip down to the floor. Keep your breath moving. And then open the left leg out to the side. Again, the left leg may come to a different angle in every body. A few degrees of movement may give you a lot of stretch and opening through your hip. In very flexible bodies, the foot may come very close to the floor or perhaps even touch. Keep the posture comfortable and safe for you. Keep that right hip anchored. To bring your neck into the posture, lift your head up and turn your head so that you look over your right shoulder. Nice strong grip with that left hand. Very nice. And then with an inhale, come back to center. Head and leg both moving back to midline. Release the grip on the strap. Release the strap from your left foot. Set your strap aside. And then roll to one side so that you can press back to a seated position, and we'll make our way back to our chairs. Back in our chairs, we finish our practice just the same way that we began. Hips close to the front of the chair so that your spine is tall, upright, and supported by your own strength. Feet parallel, thighs parallel, hands comfortable in your lap. And we'll take 3 breaths together to close. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Thank you so much for sharing practice with us today. Hope to see you again soon.